Hello everybody! So today we're playing against an 1844 player. I was a bit optimistic about getting a stronger player. But let's see, we have a French defense here. I'm a bit puzzled here. Throughout my life I played either knight c3 or knight d2. Let's go for the sharpest lines, knight c3. Let's see what does he have up his sleeve. So usually black chooses between knight to f6 and knight bishop to b4, but he chose the third option, which is just to take. This is called the Rubinstein variation, if I recall right. Now queen d5. In my view, this is a very strange move. Instead of developing a piece, putting the queen in the center of the board, attacking my knight. Fair enough. What happens if I just develop my bishop? He will play f5 probably, which also seems very risky for him, but yeah, maybe I have something simpler. I can just move the knight also. Let's just play knight g3 or knight c3. Both look good. Yeah, let's play knight c3. Now if the queen move, we just reach some kind of a Scandinavian defense, but he played bishop to b4, which is okay, but I think at one point he will have to move his queen anyway, so I'm not too sure if this helps him. So here I'm a bit I have some choices. I can just play knight to f3. I can consider even knight to e2, with the idea that if he ever captures my knight, I will recapture with my knight without ruining my pawn structure. So this looks tempting. I don't know, somehow I just like the simple knight f3, because I'm not too concerned that he will take me on c3, because then, okay, I will have doubled pawns, but my pawn center would be very strong on the other side. And here I just want to finish my development with bishop d3 and short castle. And once again, his queen on d5 is very exposed, so it's very likely that he will have to move it anyway in some point. Let's see what he does. Knight e4. Okay, so here we go. So he's threatening knight takes c3, but I don't like this move at all from him, because first of all I can just defend my knight if I want, but I must say that I'm extremely tempted to just sacrifice the pawn with the move short castle, because he lost a lot of time in the opening. First of all, getting his queen out too early, now moving his knight twice already. So in general, the best way to punish such behavior is just to keep develop your pieces and not caring too much about material. So yeah, let's do short castle. He will take a pawn, but I don't care so much. I might even consider sacrificing even more. Yeah, now he will take the pawn. Okay. Now I have two choices, which in my view are very interesting. So first one is simply to move the rook because it's under attack. The other one is also quite tempting, is to play bishop to a3, with the idea to prevent him from castling for eternity, and just to sacrifice the exchange. Both looks very tempting to me. Let's see. Both are tempting, but which one is more practical, let's say? Because bishop a3, while very tempting, it might be slightly scary because I sacrifice quite a lot of material, and if things go wrong, I might be in trouble. But rook b1 is slightly slow. I mean, the most straightforward move would definitely be bishop a3. Okay, this is a critical moment, so I'm allowing myself to think a little bit for longer than usual. Okay, let's just go with the rook. Maybe I will regret after the game that I played this move, and I will find out that the other move was very promising. But I just figured out that if he castles right now, he also needs to be careful about all kinds of possibilities of sacrifices on h7. Yeah, now he played knight to c6, but now I think I'm allowed a second chance to play bishop a3, but only now I don't need to sacrifice anything. Okay, maybe another pawn, but once again, in my view, pawns are not so important in such positions. I can also play rook b3, which is also very interesting, just to kick away this bishop from his c3 square, and then proceed with my development. Yeah, a lot of thoughts for me here. Let's see. Bishop a3 once again is probably met with knight takes d4. He will take a second pawn, but I will have a very big lead in development. I can also play first rook b3 to force him to take with the bishop, and only then play something like c4. This is also tempting. Okay, let's just play bishop a3. Let's see what happens. This being this being a kind of a game with an audience, I will try to play as funky as possible, just sacrificing all of my pawns to fight for the initiative. Might not be objectively the best move in the position, but for black it's now very difficult to play in a practical game because he's deprived the right to castle, and now he kind of needs to play with his king stuck in the center and all of the pieces on the board yet, so it could be quite difficult for black. This is what I'm counting on. Once again, perhaps my initiative is not worth 2 pawns, but somehow I feel it should be enough, especially in blitz. You know, in blitz the player doesn't have too much time to find all of the correct moves like he has in a real game. So I'm also counting that he will just he will not be able to find all of the best moves. So let's see what he does. I don't see too much choices for him. He cannot castle. If he plays a move like queen a5 or queen takes a2 with the idea to attack my bishop, I can just defend it with the rook. Yeah, that's what he did. Let's do this. Now his queen also has some problems in the corner of the board. It might get stuck there. It is stuck, it's just a question of whether can I attack it. Actually, I already see a very nice way to attack it. If now the bishop is under attack, so if he takes with the bishop my pawn on d4, I think I have many good moves, but one idea which appeals to me very much is just to play the pawn to c3, so to attack his bishop on d4 and then to play bishop b1, and I think I just trap his queen, so we'll have to part from some of his material. I think black is in trouble now, because if he just moves the bishop, perhaps I can play the same idea with moving the c pawn and then trapping his queen. So he played bishop takes d4. Once again, I'm sure I have all kinds of good possibilities, but this seems good enough. Now that I think about it, he could play knight to a5. This is a move that I failed to consider before that. Yeah, that could be a bit annoying. Even though I can always take the bishop, and then if the knight takes my rook, just to recapture, and I will have 2 pieces for the rook. But this was actually not my initial intention. I really wanted to trap his queen, so it would be a pity. But unfortunately enough, I don't see other good continuation if he will do it. After the game I will check what should have I done, because I think this position is very tricky. Black is having 2 pawns up. Yeah, he played knight a5. I think it's not too difficult to find this move for black, just because he doesn't have too many other options, so it's kind of an elimination. Okay, now it is once again a very critical moment. I can think about 2 possibilities here. So once is just to take the bishop and play this position, but I've spotted a very interesting possibility to play bishop b5 check and capture with the queen. I think that's what I will do. It looks very tempting. Okay, I'm completely not sure that this is working, but this seems too beautiful not to be played. Now my idea, black will have to block with the pawn, then I will take with the queen his bishop, and yeah, and now I'm both attacking this pawn on g7. I'm also threatening to just play queen to d6 and to create a lethal battery with this bishop on the long diagonal. So I'm extremely excited suddenly. Yeah, he took the rook. But isn't this just a checkmate if I play queen to d6? Does he have even a single way to deal with my checks? I really don't see. Let's just play queen d6. I'm just threatening checkmate in one move. And I think he has to sacrifice his queen on a3 just to be able to avoid the checkmate. But this is definitely not enough to sacrifice the queen, because then I'm also attacking his knight, so he's not even in time to get a rook and the piece. It would be just a queen for a rook, and it's definitely not enough. Yeah, I think black is losing right now. At the end of the day, my strategy seems to have worked. I still not won the game, of course, but it seems like black is in a lot of troubles right now. The checkmate is threatened, and I don't see any salvation for him. Yeah, he took with the queen, but yeah, now I think he will probably play a6 now. No, he did not. And now I have a queen against the rook. Okay, yeah, he have also a couple of pawns, but I really feel that it's not enough. Let's centralize the knight. The thing is that it's not only that I have the queen for the rook, also his piece coordination is very bad. The rooks are still stuck in the corner, and his king is still stuck in the center. And also I have this combo of queen and knight in the attack, which are a very dangerous combo of pieces. So he played bishop to c6. Now if I just want to play for pawns, I can play queen to c7 and to win some pawns, but I don't want to allow his king to castle, so I'm thinking about queen to a3. I think I will do it. Once again, perhaps not objectively the best move, but I really liked, once again, especially in blitz, to make it difficult for my opponent to make decisions. I want to get to make his king remain in the center as long as possible, and I don't care too much about material. So now the time is running short for both of us. They just defended the pawn, but now I think it's a good time also to involve the rook in the game. And now all of my pieces are active. This is a good sign. Perhaps I'm threatening to penetrate with my queen to d6 to cause some troubles for him. Now I played f6. Yeah, now I can just take his bishop and then play queen d6. Probably that's what I will do. I'm wondering if I have something even stronger. I can also sacrifice the knight, play queen d6 immediately, and just play once again for the attack. But somehow this doesn't feel enough for me, so I will just take the bishop, and now I will very happily penetrate with my queen over here. I'm threatening practically everything. He will probably play king f7 at this point, but I will keep hunting his king to his grave probably. Yeah, now once again I can just take million of pawns, but I kind of like this idea. Queen c7, he will play king g6, and then to try to play once again for the attack against the king. Now I'm threatening rook g3 to keep attacking his king. And once again, as you see, in each move I can take a lot of pawns, but if I waste some time, so maybe he will manage to consolidate his king position and he will hide it somewhere in the corner, and then it would become slightly more complicated. So what I'm trying to do is to pose him as much problems as possible to his king before he consolidates his position. So he plays rook c8, but now I can check. Now we will have to go to f5, but this is really what I wanted. Now his king is very exposed in the center of the board. Now I'm threatening to check from all around the place. So I took a pawn eventually. Oh, he played rook to g8. So now I can just take the rook and play with the rook up, but I think I will keep the king hunt going once again. It's too fun not to. King e5. Okay, I'm getting low on time, so I think I will accelerate my kind of time consumption. Okay, so from here I think it should be quite easy for me to win. His king is too exposed and his rooks are completely discoordinated from the game, and it should be checkmate in 2 or 3 moves. Yeah, now I will either checkmate here or here. Yeah, he resigned. Yeah, very nice game. I'm extremely interested in analyzing the position, so let's see. Let's see what is the computer opinion of my moves. Yeah, so this is like the starting point. So yeah, the computer already thinks I have almost a 1 point advantage. So after 94, so yeah, the computer, at least in a in a short depth, saying I should just defend the knight, but I feel like this is very promising also. Now I'm wondering if my move bishop a3 was promising or not. Yeah, computer says that this is a very bad move because he has this move queen a5. Yeah, this even I didn't consider. I was only thinking about bishop takes rook, and then actually in this position it says the position is equal even though I'm a pawn and an exchange down. So mathematically I'm 3 points down, but from positional point of view, because of the fact that the king cannot castle and I have some ideas coming, so he only says that okay, now he said that black has a small advantage, right? But yes, rook b1 was probably good. Now he probably made his big mistake taking the pawn on a2, which is probably just losing. He should have taken this pawn. And I saw in my head this kind of position. Once again, you see the black has 2 pawns up, but even the computer, which is rather materialistic, so he likes to take pawns and to grab material, even he's saying that white, the position is equal if I just develop my pieces with moves like rook to e1. But in such position, maybe the position is objectively equal, but I would rather be white here. I think it's much easier to play with white. Black needs to face a lot of difficulties because of his king being stuck in the center. So I would be quite happy with this position. And probably after queen takes a2, he is already losing. Yeah. And yeah, bishop b5 is the best move. Yeah, so I actually found the best moves from this point. And yeah, from here it's already not very interesting. So yeah, we had a very interesting game today. So once again, if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, to like. If you have some suggestions, some things you wanted to say or to ask, some requests, some other chess sites or other time controls, you're welcome to suggest it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.